Hello and welcome to the Clock and Talking Arsenal podcast. But today we're covering Euros as we go through our Euro group stages. I am your host, Tez, so you all should know that by now. You can give me a Guna Tez on Twitter. This week I have a very special new guest. He's actually a long-time listener. Toby, how are you, brother?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Good to be on. Good to be on. Yeah, long time listener, first time caller.
It's good to have you, buddy. And yeah, it's not coming home because Tony couldn't be fucking bothered to come here today because he knew I was going to give him an absolutely shit heap. And yeah, I was ready to fucking lift him today. They are. I'm going to talk about that first. England. And are you an England fan?
Yeah, of course I am. Big old one. Big old England fan.
What? Southgate, I always said he's the weakness, right? And he's a manager who doesn't. Not many people have much faith in him. I had seen it and thought to myself, "Wow, he is the weakness of that team." You guys come up against Germany now. Are you guys? Are you worried, or what type of play is he going to come up with?
I'm kind of going through that wave of emotions, that different. So at first it's like watching Germany in the first few games, the first game being kind of like, wow, look, easy,
Yeah.
that they're not the same. And then, that last game, they just took Portugal to pieces. So then seeing them again at Hungary and kind of keeping my eye on one game while watching the France-Portugal one, they didn't look the same team that they did in the second game. So it's like, am I worried? But then it's Germany and they are a hoodoo team. We don't beat them in tournament football. I don't think we ever have. Have we? I can't. Oh, apart from obviously in the final.
Yeah, I'd have to go back. Yeah, a long time, man. Like I have to go back. Yeah, a long time. I've brought up the the next bracket stages, and I just want to have a little look at that first. But actually, I want to go back because we started off the last show going through the groups, and now today the groups are they're all wrapped up, and we know what the bracket next levels are. I just want to give a shout out to Hungary because they, that was a group of death, and they were written off. They did finish, last in that group and don't go to the next stage, but they played some good football, didn't they?
They really did. They really did. Incredible football. Just like counter-attack and really precise. And just like, just getting the goals and moving forward with a lot of pace at the right times against big teams and defending like, forget the term, but beavers. Just like just incredible. And I really enjoyed the games. I've got to admit though, for all the Hungary games, I didn't pay as much attention to their team. I was watching more their opposition. I can't really remember the first few, but wow, incredible effort.
Mate, I was exactly the same, and I thought to myself, Hungary. I give them no. What's the word? I give them. I just didn't even think. Like, obviously, look, they proved it. They got fourth, but I didn't think they would come out like that. Like you're up against Germany, and at one stage today, they were in front twice.
For a long time.
Yeah.
We were literally. I mean, all mates and all groups. We were all just kind of all fingers crossed, like the stars are aligning and we're playing Hungary in the next round. And it was for a long period of time they were up for. It's pretty much it was until Germany equalised quite late on. When did they equalise?
Germany was late. It was about the 83rd minute because I flicked it. Yeah. I was flicking between France and Portugal and Germany and Hungary because I was like, shit, these are both two great games.
It was hard to keep up.
It was. So France go through. Germany go through. I know I am starting at the bottom now. They in the playoffs. So Germany obviously come up against England, France. Who did they come up? Oh,
Oh, Swiss.
Sweden. No, Switzerland.
Yeah.
I the last two games, and I don't know if we're talking a good Hungary team. I haven't liked much of France of what I've seen there. Like today against Portugal, there was a draw 2-2. Is it enough?
I think for France today, they were efficient with the football. They had more of the ball and used it quite well. And I felt like they didn't really play with their they played with intent to win, but they weren't going all out for it like Portugal were. And in pretty much most scenarios, France were going through with a favourable draw, other than if Hungary won or what was it? Other than if they lost to Portugal. So you can tell they could have just played for a draw. But I kind of understand it. Like their attack isn't as free flowing as it has been through the tournament. But I think it goes the same for pretty much all the big teams have kind of stuttered as they've gone through, and France have done it efficiently. They seem to like I guess they stuttered quite heavily against Hungary, to think about it, and didn't really show much in this game. But yeah, I know, did they lose Dembele in the end to injury?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard much because, like I said, I was flicking through both games. So, and then I jumped on here. So I haven't heard much at all on what injuries and things are.
Okay, yeah. No, he didn't. I think he got injured before the game. But anyway,
Switzerland, and I'm just looking back at head to head. 0-0 back in 2016. It gives you really no indication or anything on what we're going to see here in 2021. What's your thoughts on Switzerland throughout the tournament?
They've been dog. I've really, really been disliked Switzerland and how they've gone about their football. I guess they took kind of Swansea to the cleaners and should have won the game easily, and then just really flattered to deceive, got knocked about by Italy, and then Turkey are just one of the worst teams I've seen in the Euros.
How many people? I can't believe how. I'll put my hand up as well. They were a dark horse. Everyone was saying, "Oh, watch out for this Turkey team," and I looked at it at the start and thought, "Yeah, okay, maybe," but then I'm watching them play. I thought they're fucking shit.
No, I mean, I love my Turkish brothers out there, but wow, they've never really been that strong a team ever, and they've got a few players that are playing well, but they've never been really coherent. And I just didn't. I saw that and I was just like, nah, not at all. But not a soothsayer, but yeah, I could say I was anti. I just didn't. I was like, where is this Turkey thing coming from? Where is it? I feel like everyone was just kind of hyping each other up about this.
I was thinking the same. And most people know I have a bet, and so I was very cautious when I was betting against Turkey because everybody's saying, "Oh, this Turkish team, man, you got to watch out for them." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, righto." So they finished last in the group stage. I think in my predictions, I had Wales to finish second. No, I had Turkey to finish second and probably Switzerland third. Wales, I didn't give any.
Wales are out of it. Yeah, and to be honest, the way they've played this tournament, they've kind of come clutch with their two big players, haven't they? And got through like how they normally play. They didn't start very well, but done all right, haven't they?
Arsenal fans are probably asking, "Can we have Ramsey back?" I guess.
Yeah.
Not for me. No. Look, don't get me wrong; he's a brilliant footballer. I love Ramsey, but yeah, come on, we don't want to go, 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of thing. So.
Yeah, it would just be another situation, wouldn't it? That'll last for a while.
Yeah. It'll last for 6 months or something, and then everybody goes, "Oh, why did we get Ramsey back?"
Or he will get injured. Do the classic Ramsey timeline. Get injured, come back and play every game for like 4, 5, 6, up to 10 games. Not flattered to deceive, and then just start going again, wouldn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So Wales come up against Denmark. Now, I think Denmark I think Denmark will win this game. I've liked this Denmark team. Defensively, I've liked them. If you have a look back at their games that they've played, Belgium. They're a good team, Belgium. So I'm looking at Denmark. Yeah, they was it 2-1 against Belgium.
Well, unlucky against like Finland, the way it all went down.
Yeah, that was unlucky. And then they smashed Russia. So I actually thought Russia were a better team than that. When I say a better team, I did have in the betting game. I had Denmark to win that game, but not by 4-1. I probably had a 2-1 or something along them lines.
Yeah.
Denmark. So Denmark, Wales. Where are you at? Where are you thinking on that one?
I think they're both teams that, from outside of like a football perspective, they're both nations that have a strong support. Like Wales is like run. They went through the last rounds and they've got like a mixture of like really high quality and then squad players and main players that are maybe of quite a lower level, but they need to work together as a team. So they're both similar nations, quite small nations. So where do I see who winning? I think Denmark have better quality, but I also think Wales across the pitch versus Wales. But I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm England and I get a lot of Wales hype. You can never like rule them out. Like they're not going to be expected, but magic moments and stuff. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go Wales just because of.
Yeah. No, it's hard. I agree. It's a toss of a coin. I'd imagine betting on that game. I'll just select Wales for the sake of it. 41% of people are saying Wales, 28 at Denmark, 475 v 185 that's a good bet, and I'm sorry I talk about betting, but that's where that's a bit of my life as well. So 475, I'm willing to have a slash at Wales with them odds.
Would that be at 90, or would that be to go through?
That's to beat Denmark and go through.
Okay. Wow.
So they're the roughies in the game. Yeah.
You can tell who maybe uses this website a lot, like the Brits. Possibly.
I do. Actually. I only because I look here. You get 8,000 odd votes. People are saying Wales. I look at stats. I look at different things as well when I'm betting and do them as much research as I can because I'm putting tips out to guys as well. So I like to know, but at least pretend I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You seem to be with it, man. You seem to get them right more times than not. So yeah, doing well.
Yeah. Okay. Now you wouldn't fucking read about it, but my computer has had a freeze, and I did say I was having computer problems before I went into this podcast. Here we go. We have unfrozen. Thank fuck for that. Because otherwise it's going to make it a very hard podcast. Okay, where else are we at here? Netherlands and Czech Republic. I've liked what I've seen from the Czech Republic. They have surprised me a little. Netherlands, I don't know. I'm still not convinced with Frankie de Boer. I don't know. Netherlands fans out there, let me know. I'm not convinced with him as a manager. He's just too erratic for me.
Yeah, I can't say that I analyse him and kind of follow them. Actually, that's one team that I've completely been oblivious to, actually, in the whole qualifiers, and which is sacrilege on the group, really, because everyone's always, there's quite a lot of people over there. So I think the Czech Republic I saw as a solid unit. I had a lot of players that were playing in form, a lot of players that play for the same team, even though a lot of them, were from, the team that we dismantled, and it took a bit of time to do that, but over the Europa League. But yeah, I can't see anything but other than a
I
Netherlands
think
win there.
Netherlands win. Yeah, I'm not with you. I see a Netherlands win. We did touch briefly England, Germany, but we didn't call it.
Oh right, yeah, no, England.
Yeah,
England all day long.
You're England. You're England. Look, I'm. The votes are saying England, but there's 2,000 odd votes there, or nearly 3,000 people are saying England. I don't know. I honestly, I toss of a coin. What Germany beat in 2017, you drew in 2017, you beat them in 2016. We're talking different teams now back there. What I seen from Germany today was telling me an England victory. But what I seen from Germany against France, that was the first game. I like that Germany team. So I don't know what Germany's going to turn up.
It's going to be a different one. It's going to be probably a Germany more like against like was it there Portugal? I mean that team.
Yeah, Portugal. That was a good game too. Yeah,
I think just because of they seemed. I didn't watch enough of the game, but obviously with a block like that against the team today, it looked like they struggled. Obviously with the fact that, but I can't really talk because I wasn't watching the game fully. But just going off the scoreline and watching the shots go past and all the blockages, they struggle against a team with a high block, with a deep block. But England aren't going to be that. They're going to be expansive. Hopefully, we'll have our two holding midfielders keeping the back line. You know, Maguire's back now. He played really well the other day. It's Gareth Southgate, like you mentioned. It's Gareth Southgate that's going to be the person that's going to decide this. It's annoying. I know that's what the manager does, but it's just like England. Yeah. You know that the pieces of the puzzle are there to dismantle a lot of teams, but I think I enjoyed the setup at the last game, but I would have liked to have seen Sancho over Sterling personally, but love Saka getting in there. That was dream performance. So,
that was good, and it was a great game by Saka. And just look, I don't follow. Look, I have really. I'm following Italy throughout this tournament. Okay, it's probably because I like pizza and lasagna. It's nothing more than that.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, that's right. But so I pick a team at the start of a tournament, and I go, "That's who I'm following throughout the tournament, mate." I'm in Australia. Like I'm literally no ancestors are from anywhere in Europe. So, but you know, and Italy are a team that we'll get onto them in a minute, but. What I'm getting at is, you're an English fan, and England fans, are you concerned that Sancho has not really featured throughout this tournament? Yes, he got minutes in the last half of the last game. For me, he's one of the best out there. I'll be honest, I don't get it. I don't fucking understand it. And I think a Sancho needs to play against Germany. But then, is he fit? Is he what? You know, what's going on there?
Well, I think in terms of, I had a feeling just today about Sancho and Woody. You know, playing against possibly all the players aren't going to be playing in the German league, but just the idea of him being used to that style of play that Germany might adopt. God knows what, but. I'm concerned. Well, I know the reason why he's not playing, and there could be other reasons like training and where Gareth Southgate feels like he fits into a system that he wants to play, even though it's really possibly rigid. Sancho, his style of play for England, his performances actually, just going back, his performances for England haven't been to a level recently since I guess he was injured for a long period of time. I think at a point when it was, I can't exactly remember, but it basically took him out of the England squad. It took him out of playing for Borussia Dortmund, or he was low on form. I think it was right at the beginning of the season, and then since then, he hasn't really produced for England. And there's like a weird Gareth Southgate picks players who, when they play, and they play well on the pitch for England, he then sees that as form. Obviously, he started to, the last few years, started to rotate players that have really good form for clubs into England. And then if they continue to perform when they come on the pitch, he has faith in them and continues to play them. And when when Sancho recently has come on, yeah, he's played well. He hasn't been as effective, possibly, but he has had amazing games for England. I remember him playing.
Well, I'm just looking. I've just got his stats.
It's been a while.
Well, I've got his stats up now, and I'm trying to think. Gareth Southgate, he took yous to the last World Cup, wasn't he? Yes, I'm pretty sure. So,
2018.
He has played 26 matches in the Bundesliga, but I'm just trying to get up his
England stats.
International. Yeah. Like I'm trying to, his 6 games. He's played 10 games under Southgate.
Well, that's just the Nations League.
That's the Nations League. Yeah, sorry. So that's not even international. I'm just trying to international friendlies.
If you try a Euro, that might have the qualifiers on as well.
6, 7 there. International friendlies. He's probably played a dozen games, I guess, if you count them all up. I just don't understand.
So I think that one with International Euro, that could possibly be the qualifications for this tournament. And when he started playing, this is literally pie in the sky here, but I remember when he started playing, he was scoring goals, getting assists, and being quite effective. But in the the whole of 2020 and 21 hasn't scored. And I know it's not about, like scoring assists exactly. But there's a lot of other players on the pitch who are in form, are playing well, who Gareth Southgate is seeing a lot, possibly might not be going to Dortmund enough, but that's not an excuse really to discount him. But he has faith in the players, so continue to play him, and that's the situation. That's why Sterling's on the pitch.
Yeah. Roberta says Germany. I think Roberta's Italian. Sam, good morning. I think Saka and Grealish should keep their places. I wouldn't have picked Saka over Sancho, but now he's played and done well. He should keep his. I agree. I totally agree with that statement. I didn't want to bring that up because I didn't want to sound biased towards an Arsenal player, and for me, Saka, he deserves his spot there. He was outstanding, I thought. But have I got my Arsenal goggles on? That's the thing.
No. I know for a fact that I get ripped by a lot of my mates. When you have your little heroes, you have your little, Saka played for England, made the tournament hearing about that and seeing him play, it just makes it that much better for me. But seeing him perform, and it's like a friendly rivalry, but we all kind of gun each other's, little, players and stuff, and everyone's on Kane at the moment, obviously, because he's terrible.
He's terrible, man. Like I actually looked at that and I thought, Kane, I think I took him 3 games to score a goal because I kept saying he's going to score. He is, I don't know, something's not right there. I think, and I'm just thinking out loud, I'm no ITK or anything, right? But I'm just thinking, like, these players are humans, right? He's not happy what's happening at Tottenham. The fucking poor cunts over there still haven't got a manager. And not that I care. Fucking good luck to him. But Kane's sitting there going, oh, fuck, we haven't got a manager. You sacked the bloke that I did like, and he's now at PSG. Now you bought him Mourinho. Yeah, I didn't go much on him, but we built a bit of a relationship. You sacked him. We're actually going backwards. I'm a fucking talent, and I want out. That's where I kind of get Harry Kane, and I don't think his head's in the game.
I think
I could be totally wrong. Like I said, it's no inside knowledge. I didn't speak to his uncle or anything, but
it's possibly not in the game. But he's I don't know what kind of form he was taken into the Euros. He He's always he ended up top scorer, but I don't remember. He did it at. I don't know if they did it at Wimper at least, because of just what Tottenham were like at the end of the season as much as what we were like. But he I mean, I think his head's turned about Spurs, but I think if it was to be turned, it would be about that Man City. I know that I don't really know when a player will find out about these things, but it would have been a while ago. I don't know whether that's on his mind, but he's not playing great. But it could be that. I mean, he wasn't the worst the last game. I didn't think he played particularly that bad. Yeah, he didn't score, and a few of the shots that he did have were kind of saved quite easily. But he, maybe we don't want him to do this, but he was picking up play quite deep, was moving it around and actually moving it forward to areas that were filled with our attacking players.
He wasn't scoring, though. At the end of the day, you look at Harry Kane and you think, I want to see goals.
Yeah.
I was actually just looking, I couldn't remember who you had on the bench or who to pick from. And Calvin Lewin, I really like him.
I lost you a bit.
Is he likely to get a start or a call up in replacement of Harry Kane?
I think I missed out a bit there. I couldn't hear that last.
Is he likely to get a call up over Harry Kane? Or
who was
that? Calvin Lewin.
I think if it was to happen, it would have been if we were kind of going at a bit of more of a canter in the last game and kind of see how he was, and then if he was quite electric or if we didn't kind of just slump to a boring kind of defensive game plan at the end. But is he going to just roll the dice with Calvert-Lewin now? I don't think Kane was bad enough to take him off. He wasn't like, if it was the Kane of Scotland and he had another game exactly like the game against Scotland, I think there'd be a good possibility of Calvert-Lewin coming in. But now, or even maybe not Rashford through the middle. He seems to like Rashford through the middle. Like it's
I have noticed
years ago.
I've noticed that. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Look, I'm going to go Germany on the basis that Harry Kane's not performing, on the basis that Southgate will fucking balls it up, and I think Germany's a better manager. I think Germany's they'll be ready for this game. They'll be fucking ready for this. When is it? The 30th.
Tuesday at 5:00. Well, 5:00 GMT.
I'm not
sure what that is for you.
Oh, it's 2 o'clock.
It's early for us. Yeah.
2 a.m. in the morning for us. It'll be a game I'll watch on catch up when I wake up, because I know fucking getting up at 2 a.m. I'm retired now, mate. I don't have to get up at 2 a.m.
Well, I'd get up at 2 a.m. if I was retired.
I love me poppy naps too much now.
Oh, fair.
No,
actually, in the day.
I might get up. Yeah, I might get up. Okay, what else have we got to look at? I'm just looking at through these group stages, the playoffs. Sweden, Ukraine. I've liked Sweden over Ukraine. Ukraine have been a little bit, I don't know. Yeah, they're a funny team. They're just, I don't know. I don't know Ukraine. I thought they were a better team than they have been. I don't know if you've watched much of them or not. They finished third in the group.
I saw them get decimated a couple of times. So what was it? Was it the first game when they lost to? Was it what would have been Netherlands?
Netherlands, 3-2. That was look. I'll be honest. That game, I thought they were almost. They almost won that because they were up in front. And Netherlands got the late goals in the last 10 minutes or something, I think it was.
I think I might have been mixed up with, was it? I thought, what was the team? So, it was Austria. So,
I know I do this. I
thought the Netherlands were pretty.
Yeah,
pretty. Like the Ukraine got back into it and scored some goals.
They got back
at really key times. But wow. thought they'd go on and go on, but
well, Austria was the game that I thought Ukraine were a better team than I thought they would beat Austria, to be honest.
yeah.
No, wasn't the case. Austria did they beat them 1-0. I thought after I watched the Netherlands game, I thought that was a game that they would have won, Ukraine. And they just beat North Macedonia, who
I thought North Macedonia deserved more out of that game.
Yeah, they were unlucky. I felt for them because the last podcast I did last week, I think at that time, they just lost to, was it? No, it wasn't Austria. I think, who was it they lost to? And it might have been Ukraine, actually. They scored first, I'm pretty sure. And that's right. And I was like, that's what this, Euros and, World Cup, that's what I love about these tournaments is the fans just really getting behind the team. And they scored, and that would have been awesome to be in that stadium. They went on, and they're out of the group now. But it's, I don't know. That could go either way, that game.
Such a good. I mean that group. I've got a few teams in a sweepstake, but I got North Macedonia, and I was kind of straight away thinking, right, I'm going to get my money back at least from them, conceding the most, possibly getting the most yellow cards, and they just came short. But I thought they had a great.
I'd be proud if I was from their country. I'd be proud of what they did this, in this tournament. Like, I know they came last, but like I'm a Socceroos fan, an Aussie fan. So if we go out there and not be embarrassed, I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Like I'm not. I know we're not gonna win a World Cup or anything. I like to get into this next stage of the playoffs as a. And if we go a bit further, then I'm happy. So it's. I reckon that was a good little tournament for them.
Yeah, I mean, I saw them. The first game, I thought they acquitted themselves really well. I was really surprised with them, and all their games show a lot of attacking intent. They're quite exciting to watch as well. So I'd like to see them back, and the stuff with Pandev as well. I would just remember that. The Germany game and kind of seeing that result just pop up out of nowhere. What was it? About half a year ago? Maybe a few months ago?
Yeah,
where they beat Germany.
Germany, that's right, yeah.
And that just alerted me to them, and just remembering Pandev, and he's what a hero. What did he say? 39?
30. He's up there. Yeah, 36, 37. He's around that, yeah. Yeah, that was great. It was good. It was good. So, so they go on, Sweden, Ukraine. Now we'll go this side a little bit. Croatia and Spain. Now, how the fuck do you pick a winner here? Spain, they have been shonked for the first two games. I thought they just can't score. Right, I took them under 2.5 in today's game because I said to myself. I did. I was under, mate. I was like, they can't fucking score under 2.5. They'll win, but I think, and look, they got 5 fucking goals. Fuck.
Yeah.
So what Spain's going to turn up against this? What? Like, I didn't watch that game.
It's a hard one to decide because I mean, they still. I think it was more Dubravka in goal. Oh my god! Like, did you see any of the goals?
Look, actually, yeah.
Oh my
god! The goals.
Honestly, it must have been a few own goals. I can't remember exactly what, but there were so many things that went on. Yeah, you see that. So it started off with like a classic,
Morata. Fuck, I feel for
really
that
strange, strange pen, and then I mean, a good save. I think was there, like kind of. Good save.
That's Morata, though, isn't it? Like that poor cunt. He just can't win a trick. Like
But honestly, the Spain goals, if you watch them all back, they're
I'm going to watch
so,
the
like,
game after this podcast. I'll put it on and have a
okay.
look at that. Yeah.
I don't want to ruin them for you, but honestly, it's a comedy of errors across the back line, like throughout.
Really.
A few of the goals later on were right, but wow.
Yeah.
The goalie's playing volleyball pretty much with the ball that comes. It gets headed straight up into the air, and the ball, instead of either catching it or knocking it over, he volleys the balls directly into the goal. It was the weirdest thing.
Classic.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna check that out, that game, because I just I can't believe they did 5-5. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Croatia, Spain. Croatia have been doing what Croatia do. They turn up to these tournaments and they
get the job
put a
done.
bit of shock on us and get the job done. Yeah, I wrote them off in their last game. I don't know why. It was very stupid of me to think that they would have beat who was it now? Scotland. Because everyone's been talking about this Scottish team, right? And when you guys played them, I thought, oh shit, they're actually not a bad side. I fucking should have known, right? Croatia, they were in the last World Cup final, and I'm fucking back in Scotland. I'm like, that's so fucking stupid.
You've been warped.
Oh,
British contingent. Though it was a hard decision because I mean, in Croatia, in the game before that even though they won that or drew, did they draw the last?
I think they lost. That's what made me think about it.
I should know this.
Oh no, it was a draw. They drew against the Czech. That's right.
Czechs, yeah. And a bit of a drab game. I remember that, and there was a build up to that one. The game against Scotland, you know, it's hard to say because you know the previous game Croatia looked a completely depleted side, like what Germany, I guess, when they first played their first game. There were so many poor performances in that first round by teams that you know expected to come out at least, but Croatia really got it together. But they did beat a Scotland team that looked tired and kind of without any ideas going up forward. Like they had a lot of chances, but they weren't clinical at all. And I don't think that Scotland would have been able to improve that and go through. So, like, you know, Croatia are a good team, but I think that it's one of those toss-ups as well because Spain, you don't know what Spain's going to turn up. Is it just going to be this passing football that doesn't really ever get anywhere? You've got Morata like firing blanks.
I know. Yeah, poor old Morata.
Yeah,
I feel for that poor cunt.
I mean, I'd probably go Croatia now because I feel like they've got into a bit of a stomp just to mix it up a bit. I think Spain are a good team. But...
Yeah, Croatia, I'm actually like thinking exactly like you. I'm thinking Croatia, they go through. Spain are there, but they just, you know, I know they won today 5-0, but that Croatia team, they found their mojo. They're likely to cruise on through there and beat Spain. But toss of a coin again, but yeah, tough. Who else we got? We're going to Italy play Austria. Italy are very strong favourites. Everything I've seen from Italy this tournament, I have loved. I think they've used. I read yesterday they used 25 of 26 players they took here in the world in the Euros. So they're rotating the team. They still are getting they're still getting the points and they're just cruising through. I reckon they are going to be there abouts in the semis, if not the final for me.
Yeah, I'd agree. They rotate the team so well against Wales, and you know, apart from a miracle by like Wales and Wales looked quite strong as well, but like Italy had the game in their hands, and the fact that was a B team and it looked like quite solid, and they still played well. They didn't I mean, a few kind of worrying signs, a little bit maybe, from how Wales were able to kind of get at least a few chances. But yeah, Italy look the bees, and I
They look good.
genuinely didn't really see it coming at all. I'll be honest. So, but I haven't been paying any attention
Yep.
to Italian football or really.
I think I had them as my dark horse. I said, watch out this Italian team. Like, they didn't qualify for the World Cup. It was very irky, strange feeling not even seeing an Italy team turn up in the World Cup. So they needed to come into this tournament and they needed to put their hand up and say, hey, we are fucking Italy. Look out. And they hadn't done that for some time. So
yeah. I mean, Italy have always been like such a strong team, but in the last, since the 90s, they've always had like semi-strong teams that look dangerous, but kind of either didn't. I say the 90s, like into the 2000s, they did really well. And,
2000, yeah, very well. I know what you mean. Look, 2000 and where was that?
2006 when they won it, or the World Cup?
Yeah. And then they followed up the next year. They didn't even make the World Cup, didn't it? That was 2012? No, 20. I can't remember. 2010. Anyway, I sound fucking bad here, but we'll get off that subject very quickly.
Yeah.
Years aren't my strong point.
They aren't mine after different things.
Where are we going? So I'm going Italy. You're going Italy. Belgium, Portugal. I really think. Look out, Belgium. I said they had an easy path. They have had an easy path up until this stage. That Portugal team that I seen today against Germany, not France, I don't know if it was a fact that France were bad or Portugal were that good. Like, they have stood up this tournament. They have really stood up, Portugal. Tough group up against Belgium. I was talking to a guy last night, and he's like, "Oh, is it great that Portugal, France, and Germany had a strong group, and they, that they've had these strong games, and they're going to go on now because of them strong games." And I look at it from the other side: is you've played 3 hard games, and you're fucked. So I don't know what they got left in the tank.
Yeah.
Belgium have had it easy. Portugal have had it tough. What are we going? I'm just looking at what the fans have gone.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go Belgium vote, and 58%. So 5,000 fans have voted, and there's 24% of them are saying, well, I don't know why they're saying a draw. It can't draw. So 24% of them. Oh, I suppose if you are betting, they do go the draw, and then they go the extra time shootout. Yeah, they do. So yeah, Belgium 58%.
I mean, I think you make good points around fitness levels, but also equally good points around being used to, stronger opposition, tactically more aware, knowing where you need to improve more, whereas you wouldn't really be tested against, and they weren't tested really against the other teams. Belgium's got into a stride, but you've got the other side of things with Portugal. They weren't able to probably move the ball through midfield as they were more easily in other games against France. They were stifled, but you're playing against two world-class deep-lying players with France, and a back line of centre backs. So they were nullified in major parts of the game, which it would have been good, but which isn't really a problem with Belgium. Belgium's back line, even though they've done all right, is I think personally is quite weak. But I haven't heard a lot of people kind of talking about their back line. But in comparison to a team like even Portugal or France or anyone, but that's just a personal opinion.
Yeah.
So, and you've got the other problem of Ronaldo and what he does for the team. Even if he isn't playing well, driving them forward. A lot of quality in Portugal. I actually I didn't write off Belgium, but I didn't have them as like strong favourites at the beginning because mainly I might have been an idiot. I might have just been purely looking at their back line. But I don't know. Is that the teams up there on us France?
That's Portugal. I'm just looking at Portugal's team now. Like that, and I look at that and I think to myself, they're going to go a very similar lineup because they didn't have a chance to rest players, and this is my worry.
That's I think a good point. So yeah, I think Belgium would probably, even though maybe I've got PTSD about the last tournament when Portugal, I think, have improved. All their players have improved, and they managed to get through with that team last time. And it was like, how did they win? How the hell did they win it?
This is and I'm looking here at the Belgium team now.
Their Boata was playing incredible, and I think that's one thing I haven't kept up with is how some of the defenders, which I thought were kind of possibly finished before the tournament, were playing.
Lukaku for me. He's playing very well. I was just looking at it then. He's in. I said after the that Russia game, I went look out. I think he's their key, but. Yeah, I think for me, I know the majority are going Belgium. For me, I think it's Portugal. Mate, they have Ronaldo. Tony always says I'd never back against Ronaldo. I do back against Ronaldo. I'm not like Tony, but I think Ronaldo is in brilliant form at the moment. I just wanted to have a look because he'd have to be up there. Yeah, 5 goals.
He's top scorer with 5.
Yeah. So, mate, he's the key. He really is the key.
Obviously I respect Ronaldo. I think he's incredible, but I've just got more respect more recently just with his ability to push his team on in the last 6 years. Internationally incredible. In the last few years, domestically he's done incredible. But not quite got over the line, unfortunately for him. But wow. What you can do to any team and drive him on, you can't really bet against him at all. It's a tricky one. I think the other thing that kind of made me sway a bit more towards Belgium was the form of players that have come. De Bruyne coming back from injury, getting a slow start, and then he was on fire the other day. The quality. I tell you what, if Hazard could play like the Hazard of old, I think it would be a different story. They would be coasting now. And Lukaku's strength and his ability to finish is incredible. It's going to be a great game, and it's good that it's one of the first.
It's going to be a really good
second day, isn't it? So
it's going to be a really good game. That and that's in fairness, Portugal. They actually I know it's hard. This is what I think. This is hard because you're now backing up 2 days after a massive game with France. But then if you win this game, you have a good rest up until, a good couple of days rest. So, but this is my worry with Belgium. They just haven't been tested. Portugal have been tested once, twice, against Germany and against France, and you could even say against Hungary. So because Hungary have not been no pushovers. So that's 3 tough games, I reckon, Portugal had. Belgium, 3 easy games. They've won it easy. Yeah. Fucking, I
And the
don't
game
know.
today, yeah, I mean,
honestly, yeah. I don't know
I'm trying to
how.
think
I'm looking at these results here, right? And I'm like 5,000, but 58% are saying Belgium. They haven't got odds up, but I'm not sure what the odds are. I'd imagine Belgium a favourite. I don't
think it'll be that
think it'll be
swayed.
much. No.
As swayed as that.
No.
Yeah, I used to say the informed team, looked exciting. Portugal didn't, but Portugal were playing against one of the possibly the world's best team. Who kind of felt like they weren't playing to the best of their ability at all today, France. And they still didn't really get past them. But I guess neither team really needed to win. I think there was a point, I don't know if you were watching that, where as soon as it got to the point where neither team actually needed to win, they all just kind of stopped, slowed down.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Sideways.
Yeah.
Like,
and did you see Germany?
Right.
They were like, when they got that second goal, the Germans, because I had Germany to win, right? It was the only fucking game. I got every other game up today, and I'm like, fucking Germany. And I needed them to win. Now, I looked, they got the equaliser. It was 2-2. And the last 10 minutes, they pretty much, 5 minutes, they literally just kicked the ball out, parked the bus, wound time down because they knew they were they're through. So that's all they needed, just the draw, and they were happy. Finished second. If they had finished first, I'll just look. See, they
if they won, they would have gone first, wouldn't they?
Yeah, if they had won, this is what threw me a bit. Like, Germany have chose the England path as opposed to the Switzerland path. I
don't think they chose it, though. They were
not
trying their best.
They expected to beat Hungary, right? But what I'm getting at is they parked the bus the last 5 minutes instead of going for the goal.
Yeah, true. That's a good point. Silly idea, really. I didn't think they were parking the bus, but I was fully focused on France winning for us to get a better draw. There was a long time that we were going to get Hungary. Still gutted about that, but
Leroy Sané, I watched him. Fuck me dead. I'm trying to think who he was. Some passes that he was putting out and crosses and even a corner. There was one corner there that just went wayward over fucking no man's land, and I'm like, what the fuck? He just. I know he's a good footballer, but he just played a shocking game today.
I think was it the 91st minute where I was like, when you just kind of focus. I normally like to have 2 screens on if there are 2 games on. I was like slowly focusing on the Germany game, and it was getting. I think it was like the 91st minute where they were like, right, want to get a goal, want to make sure this is like wrapped up. And I think it's Leroy Sané was on like the right, running down the right wing on about the edge of the box and throws a crossing, and there's 2 players just kind of like running onto it. It just looks like a simple tap in. Simple, could have been along the floor.
Yeah, it was.
And then it just goes to the corner flag, and you're like,
"There's nowhere."
What the hell?
What the fuck?
Thing. That was like the only thing. And I remember seeing a lot of Bundesliga, and I thought he kind of got that out of his game. I remember when he first first started playing, and he was struggling a lot, and there were other players even he was getting sub for what's his name, the English German Muslera or something like that, young kid. But yeah, I mean he's in the German team for a reason. I didn't see a lot of him. I guess they have players that have really bad games too, just like any other.
No, it was just a bad day at the office, I think.
Yeah,
just a dead set a bad day at the office. So. Yeah. Rick's saying the Germans outright. He's saying lump on. So I don't know whether Rick's got some inside knowledge there, or he likes what he's seen.
Yeah.
Roberto is all on Italy. Let us know what you're on at the Clock End Talk. Anyway, mate, that's about a little wrap for us. I was surprised we did 55 minutes, but we did. Hopefully we've given you people a little bit of knowledge. You've walked away from this show today.
Very laughable.
And you've learned some stuff. Yeah, thanks for joining me, mate.
Yeah, man, it's been a pleasure. It's been enjoyable. Thanks for having me on.
It's been great, buddy. And thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you for downloading. You follow us at The Clock End Talk. You can get me at Gurnatez. All the punting information and stuff like that. I'll probably get shot from Tony, but you can follow me at Punting Pirates. Okay, thank you. Good night and goodbye.